for all my fellow gamers out there, who remembers the Game Boy Advance? You know, the maddest thing is, this is 24 years old today. 24 years. So, did you have one? I certainly had one. Very, very good machine for its time. And then I had to remind myself about what games I had or the games that were on this system. So, let's take a look. Now, if you was a gamer and you liked your RPG, do you remember Golden Sun? I never finished this actually. It was such a shame. I don't know if you could get it now on the Switch, but really I should, dive back into it. Now, I think every Nintendo machine has got certain games which are like a stable of that machine, of that generation. Do you know what I mean? So let's go straight into another. Of course, you're talking about a Nintendo machine. You've got to talk about a Zelda game. Now, you got The Legend of Zelda. Minish Cap was also on the Game Boy Advance. Did you ever play it? Where does it sort of list in your Zelda games? I didn't think it was a bad game, actually, if I'm perfectly honest with you. And sticking on the Zelda theme, check out this beauty. One of my best games of all time. When I found out it was coming to the Game Boy Advance, I was like, yeah. The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, absolutely wonderful game. And then it's got the multiplayer Four Swords, which you can see at the bottom of the screen. Great, great game. Do you know what? The Game Boy Advance weren't bad, you know? And then I'm talking about a Nintendo machine, so you know that there's one type of game which was always going to make an appearance. And I think people would say that Mario Kart Super Circuit was one of the better Mario Karts. Again, where does this stand? Don't get me wrong, it's nowhere near as good as the original or 64, but it was a really, really good game. But you know what? The Game Boy Advance weren't a bad machine at all now that I'm thinking about it. It's just a madness to think that this came out 24 years ago. 24 years ago. Madness.